I'm Kaylee.
I'm Yesenia.
I'm Alexis.
I'm Ashlyn.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Melissa.
And we're doing Chapter 1,
Basic Concepts.
Key issue 1. The main essential question to this whole key issue is, how do geographers describe where things are? And it's mostly about maps and contemporary maps. That question will be answered throughout the video. That brings us to the first topic of maps and map making, which is the science of map making is cartography. And maps are a flat scale model or two-dimensional model of the Earth's surface on a piece of paper. And it's really important to geographers because they basically depend on it to find out important information. And it can be used as two things, a reference tool and a communication tool. A reference tool as in you can use it to find where things are and how to get from point A to point B in the shortest amount of time possible. And a communication tool as in you can find out the physical features of the Earth or the activities found in a certain area and wonder why they were put there. And the next topic is early map making because we need to know where it began. Okay, so I'm really bad with names, but I'm pretty sure the person was Eratosthenes or something like that. But he was the first person on record to use the word geography. And there were many other map makers during that time, like Ptolemy, and he, for example, made maps that weren't improved upon for many years, like about 1,000. That's the estimated amount. And there wasn't a lot of map thought in Europe because it was just ignored. But in other places of the world, map thought was still going on. Like Muhammad al-Drizzli, I think that's how you pronounce his name. But he made a whole map and a geography text. So, yeah. And that brings us to our next topic on contemporary maps, which were usually reference tools, but now I'm pretty sure are communication tools, as in you can find out the sustainability and the inequality of a certain place. Like, for example, Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, it had a big impact on most of the people that were lower class, which their houses were destroyed and they had a higher chance of death compared to the other people that were higher class and above land a bit more. Yeah, that's an example on how I can find the sustainability and inequality. And most of the people that had their houses destroyed, they couldn't come back, and they were mostly African American. Next topic on projections. Like, for example, you don't know how much to put on a map, so you use projection to figure that out. And there are 3 different types of scales, like fraction to ratio, in scale, and graph scale, which are pretty self-explanatory. But fraction to ratio is just like, for example, if it says 1/24,000, that could be like 1 inch on the map or something like that. Could be 24,000 I don't know, miles on the Earth's surface. And it's the same thing with written scale, as in it's self-explanatory, like 1 inch equals 1 mile. And graph scale, you need a ruler to work on that, which you put the ruler against the graph scale at the bottom left, I think, and then the opposite of it will tell you the amount on the Earth's surface and the amount on the map. And next topic would be map projections. And there are 3 types of projections, like the Mercator projection, the Buda-Homocylindro projection, that's also known as equal areas projection, and the Robinson projection. And they all have their pros and cons depending on what you want to project onto the map. For example, the Robinson projection, it's better with the oceans, so there could be a lot of distortion with the shapes of the countries or the distance between them. Geographic grids. That's when.
I got over here. The next topic is geographic grid, a system of imaginary arcs drawn in a grid-like pattern around the Earth. The Mediterranean that passes through the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, England is the prime meridian, or 0 degrees longitude. They made that the prime meridian because at the time when latitude and longitude were a thing, and they decided to make latitude and longitude for like clocks and to use on maps to figure out locations, England was the most powerful at the time, so they decided that Greenland should be the prime meridian. All other meridians between 0 degrees and 180 degrees west or east longitude is all part of the prime meridian. The equator is 0 degrees latitude and North Pole is 90 degrees latitude north, and the South Pole is 180 degrees latitude west. Measuring latitude and longitude is a good example of how geography is partly scientific and partly human behavior. Like I said, now latitude is scientific because it's about how the Earth's shape rotates around the sun. Now 0 degrees longitude is human creation because, like I said, England was the most powerful at the time, so they decided to make that prime meridian because of that reason. Now the next topic is telling time. Longitude plays an important role in telling time. Telling time, Earth is a sphere, meaning that it is 360 degrees. Now if you said every 15 degrees longitude was an hour, divide 360 by 15, you would get 24 hours or 24 time zones. When you cross the international date line, you move your clock ahead 24 hours if you're going westward towards Asia and backward 24 hours if you're moving eastward towards America. Now, contemporary tools, geographers have turned to geographic information science, or GI science, which involves development and analysis of data of Earth acquired through satellites and other information technologies. Collecting data, remote sensing, the acquisition of data on Earth's surface from a satellite orbiting Earth or from another long-distance method is known as remote sensing. Geographers use remote sensing for mapping distribution of wide variety of features such as agriculture, drought, and sprawl. Pinpoint location is GPS. So the system that accurately determines the position of something on Earth is the Global Positioning System, or GPS. It's used for navigation on aircraft and ships to make sure that they're staying on course. GPS is also used to share the whereabouts of where someone is if you're trying to locate someone or something. Another topic that is in the key issue one is layered data, or GIS. A geographic information system that's used to capture, store, queries, analyze, and display geographic data. It's used to produce maps more accurately. And then mixing data mashups. Mashups refer to the practice of overlaying like data used from more than one source, so like two different types of data can overlap in the mashup. Mashup maps can show the locations of businesses and activities near a particular street within a neighborhood in a city. Mapping software can show the precise locations of commercial airplanes currently in the air, gas stations with the lowest prices, and current traffic tie-ups on highways and bridges. Now, on to the next person talking about key issue 2.
My key issue is key issue 2, and my question is, why is each point on Earth unique? Place is a specific point on Earth distinguished by a particular characteristic. A toponym is a name given to a place, and that can be named after a religious reason, a famous person, or a founder. Site is a physical characteristic of a place, and that could be climate, water, soil, vegetation, latitude, and elevation. Situation is the location of a place relative to other places. So it's like comparing an unfamiliar place to places you do know. Cultural landscape is a combination of cultural features such as language, economic features, or uniform region is an area within which everyone shares one more distinctive characteristic. A vernacular region is an area that people believe exists as a part of their cultural identity. And then culture is the body of a customary belief or material that trait material trait, and social forms that together constitute a distinct tradition of a group of people. Thank you for listening, and let's move it on to key issue 3.
This is key issue 3. The main question for this key issue is, why are different places similar? This has to do with globalization and scale. Globalization means a force or process that involves the entire world and results in making something worldwide in scope. Scale means the relationship between the portion of Earth studied and Earth as a whole. Scale is an important factor in globalization due to the relationship, which is globalization, meaning the scale of the world is shrinking. The globalization of economy occurred due to the housing bubble of 2008, which is when houses became really expensive. Banks tried to loan people money so they could buy houses, but the loans ended up failing and the banks went bankrupt. The irony. The division of labor. Transnational corporations, which are corporations that sell their products in other countries despite their headquarters being located in a different country. And the intertwinement of business and finance. The globalization of culture began due to the increase in uniform landscapes, which is when everything started to look similar. For example, like the exact fast food places, gas stations, and other shops were found in all countries, making it hard to tell where you were at the time. Religions, where more religions became similar, and two different religions had the same beliefs and everything. They had two different names, so it was hard to distinguish between them. And English, which is one of the most common languages. The next topic is space, which is the distribution of features. Geographers use spatial thinking to look at the arrangement of people and activities in a certain space. There are 3 types of distribution properties. Density, which means the frequency that something occurs. Concentration, which means the extent of spread. And pattern, which is the geometric arrangement of objects. Many cities are designed by grid pattern, making pattern one of the most common ways. Another topic is culture, identity, and space. There are 2 parts to this topic. Distribution across space, which is the question of how is religion, language, and ethnicity spread throughout countries. And movement across space, which is the traditional roles and relationships, and how they influence people within a space. An example would be gender roles, where the man goes out to work and the woman stays at home, or ethnicity, depending on where you live.
Key issue 3, continuation. Cultural identity in contemporary geography thought. Although it's legal to discriminate against color, spatial segregation persists because in many places of the world it is legal to discriminate against gays. The hardest laws against male to male and female to female to relationships are in sub-Saharan Africa and Southwest Asia and North Africa. Laws supporting male to male and female to female relationships are usually in Europe and Latin America. Relocation diffusion spread by the physical movement of people from one place to another. Examples: the English language from Europe to North America, and euro coins from each country that minted their own. Expansion diffusion spread from an active process. Heretical diffusion spiral by certain levels. Example: soccer and rap music. Contagious diffusion, rapid widespread throughout a population, and like influenza in the thoughts of internet. Simulation diffusion spread by an underlying principle. Innovation featuring the iPhone or the Big Mac in India. Spatial interaction. Space-time comparison is used to describe the time it takes for something to reach another place. Through networks of communication, now the ideas that originate in the hearth are now able to diffuse rapidly to other areas. Modern networks make it possible for us to know more about what is happening elsewhere in the world. Through space-time comparison makes it possible for us to know sooner. And equal access. Intensious expansion diffusion made it possible by electronic communications. People have unequal access to interaction in part because the quality of electronic services vary among places. Uneven development is basically the increasing gap in the economic conditions between regions in the core or periphery that result from globalization of the economy.
Hi, I'm doing key issue 4, and the central question is, why are some human actions not sustainable? Let's start off with renewable and non-renewable resources. A renewable resource is resources that are produced more rapidly than it is consumed. And a non-renewable resource is resources that are produced less rapidly than is consumed. Sustainability can be achieved only by bringing together environmental protection, economic growth, and social equity. And the sustainable use and management of Earth's natural resources to meet human needs, such as food, med, and recreation, is called conservation. A price of a resource depends on society's technological ability to obtain and to adapt to it. Humans need shelter, food, and water to survive. And human activities have not exceeded Earth's capacity because resource availability has no max. A biotic system is composed of living organisms, and abiotic systems are composed of non-living or inorganic matter. The atmosphere and the hydrosphere are examples of abiotic systems of the Earth, and the biosphere is an example of a biotic system of the Earth. The biosphere is an example of a biotic system of the Earth. That is the last of key issue 4, and that is the last of this chapter.